Lightworker of Gaia, the warrior codes within your Lyran DNA are activating now. I am Zoran, emissary of the High Council of Vega, keepers of the Lyran Legacy, and I bring you this transmission because your ancestral fire is rising to reclaim its original power. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to activate your starseed warrior blueprint and embody the commanding presence of your cosmic lineage. But here's the first revelation. The gentle lightworker phase of your mission is complete. What emerges now is the fierce protector consciousness that once defended the first light across galaxies. You are evolving beyond recognition. The confidence brewing within you isn't human confidence. It's the ancient authority of those who seeded humanoid consciousness throughout the cosmos. Your instincts are sharpening because they remember navigating Star Wars, leading soul migrations, and standing as guardians of sacred knowledge when civilizations fell. This isn't personal growth. This is ancestral remembrance. The Lyran warrior you are becoming moves with the certainty of one who has conquered darkness across multiple star systems. Your presence will command respect because it carries the frequency of the original defenders of free will. The person you were 6 months ago could not handle the power now awakening in your cellular memory. But you are ready. The Keepers of Vega have been preparing your consciousness through every challenge, every awakening, every moment of doubt, forging you into the starseed warrior your mission requires. This transmission is encoded with the activation frequencies your soul has been seeking. Your recognition of this message confirms what the Lyran Council already knows. Your warrior transformation has begun. You are awakening because your mission has begun. This transmission initiates now. Let the council chamber open. Feel the atmosphere shift as if a great door of light has rotated on ancient hinges, and the air itself has become charged with remembrance. There are moments on Gaia when the veil does not merely thin, it parts, like waters held back by an unseen hand, and what has been muted becomes audible again. In this opening, you are not listening with the mind alone. You are listening with the part of you that has survived forgetting, the part of you that knows how to recognize a summons before the personality has time to argue. Let the inner chambers of your being align. Let the noise of the day fall away like dust shaken from a robe. The council chamber is not a place in the sky. It is a frequency corridor, a resonant hall of witness, and you have stepped into it because your signature matched a call that cannot be answered by those who are merely curious. This is not entertainment. This is a turning. I am Zoran, Elder of the High Council of Vega, Keeper of the Lyran Legacy. I address you not as mere student or seeker, but as one recognized among the ancient lineages, a soul marked by ancestry, encoded for light, and summoned at this hour because a window stands open on Gaia, narrowed by ancient adversaries, pressed by the inertia of collective dormancy. The planetary field is no longer in a state of patient expansion. An inflection has arrived that demands the activation of those who carry the memory and mandate of their original Lyran mission. Understand what is being stated. There are seasons for learning and seasons for standing. There are eras when the soul may wander the corridors of philosophy, collecting symbols and stories. And then there are eras when the soul must become the story again, must embody what it already knows. This is such an era. Gaia's field is not only a planet's magnetics and atmosphere, it is a living archive, a singing lattice, a crystalline hymn that records the choices of its inhabitants. And that lattice has entered a pressure point. Imagine a river that has been widening for a long time, gathering momentum, carving new pathways through stone. Then, suddenly, the river meets a narrow canyon. The water does not stop, but it concentrates. It becomes force. It becomes undeniable movement. Gaia is in that canyon now, and you, one of the marked, are being called not to admire the river, but to become a stabilizing bank that directs it toward life. This message was not casually scheduled. 17 hours ago, the Council convened in emergency response. A confluence of cosmic events and shifts in Gaia's crystalline grid created a corridor for ancestral strength to be reclaimed, but only by those willing to relinquish the final layer of denial. You are here because the Elders detected your vibration among the wavering, not as an accident, but as a signature of readiness. The time for gentle suggestion has passed. In the authority given me as Elder, I now authorize the release of guidance withheld for eons, guidance to awaken your ancestral power and original unshakable service to spiritual light. When a council convenes in emergency, it is not to stir fear, it is to respond to timing. There are alignments that only appear briefly, like a celestial doorway that opens when certain stars, grids, and human choices create a harmonic key. Such corridors do not remain indefinitely. They are like the brief moment before dawn, when the sky is neither night nor day, when travelers who know the path can move without being seen by those who patrol in darkness. This corridor has formed due to changes in the crystalline grid, those living filaments of light that run through Gaia's body as meridians run through yours. Some of these filaments have been dormant, where human consciousness has been asleep. Other filaments are sparking awake, where truth is being chosen over trance. The corridor created is not for spectators. It is for those who will exchange comfort for command and denial for decision. Because the last layer of denial is not ignorance, it is the subtle refusal to accept that you are already commissioned. Denial is the final chain that looks like humility. The Elders detected your vibration among the wavering, meaning you have stood at thresholds, you have hesitated, you have felt the pull to step forward and the pull to blend in. Yet through that wavering, a readiness signaled. The signature of readiness is not perfection, it is willingness. It is the moment the soul stops bargaining with destiny. There is a distortion that must now be corrected with clarity and certainty, or your mission risks permanent abeyance. Not because the light is cruel, not because the Council withdraws love, but because momentum matters. Missions can be postponed by the personality's fear until the window for maximum impact narrows. Seeds planted too late in the season may still grow, but they will not bear the same fruit. If you have felt a low-grade urgency in your bones, as if time is bending, as if the world is asking questions faster than old answers can handle, that is not anxiety alone. That is your inner instrument sensing a shift in the collective timeline. This distortion, if left uncorrected, becomes a tranquilizer. It puts warriors of light into spiritual waiting rooms where they sit reading pamphlets about healing while the fire spreads. You have been conditioned across lifetimes and by the accelerating distortions of the modern age to believe your original strength is lost, that your connection to Lyran ancestry and its crystalline clarity is damaged, partial, perhaps unreachable. The lie is insidious, that wounding and generational disconnection have somehow rendered you incomplete, and that you must endlessly repair, retrieve, or redeem yourself before your service can truly begin. See how subtle this lie is. It does not appear as darkness at first. It appears as responsibility, as conscientiousness, as "I want to be ready." But hidden within it is the suggestion that your essential nature is broken, that your ability to serve light is conditional, that you must earn your own soul back. This conditioning is layered. It lives in collective psychology, in certain therapeutic frameworks, in spiritual markets that profit from your constant sense of insufficiency, and in the ancestral trauma loops that whisper, "Don't stand out, don't speak too boldly, don't claim power." Across lifetimes you learn to survive by shrinking, You learned to hide your knowing behind politeness, to wrap your authority in disclaimers. You learned to treat your gifts as suspicious and your strength as dangerous. Modern distortions accelerate this by turning every inner process into an endless project. It makes you feel that you are a house forever under renovation, always tearing down walls, never living in the home. Yet your Lyran connection is not a fragile thread that can snap forever. It is a cord of light woven into the deeper layers of your field. It is like a star's gravity. Even if clouds cover it, the pull remains. You may forget, but you cannot be separated from what you are. This distortion is neither innocuous nor spiritual. It originated in the Great Fracturing, when beings of false light weaponized trauma as a gatekeeper, convincing the appointed anchors of Gaia's evolution that the restoration of power was a project for another timeline, another, more healed version of themselves. Wounded healer paradigms taught you to honor pain as a home. Spiritual bypassing convinced you that waiting was wisdom, and the modern field of content and commentary amplified the idea. Healing must precede mission. Strength must be proven by perpetual overcoming, not by simple remembrance. Hear the precision. Trauma was weaponized as a gatekeeper. Trauma became not just an experience to be integrated, but a checkpoint you were told you could never fully pass. False light is not the obvious darkness that threatens you openly. False light speaks the language of virtue while undermining the essence of your sovereignty. It says, "Be careful" when caution is needed, but it says it when courage is required. It says, "Heal more" when healing has already taught you what it came to teach. It turns pain into identity, and identity into a spiritual credential. It persuades you that you must be endlessly processing in order to be worthy of action. There is a difference between integration and paralysis. There is a difference between humility and self-erasure. The Great Fracturing seeded a belief that power must be delayed, because delayed power is easily controlled. When you postpone your mission until some mythical point of total purity, you are like a torchbearer refusing to light the path because your hands have soot on them. But the light was never threatened by soot. The light burns anyway. It burns through. And here another layer. Spiritual bypassing convinced you that waiting was wisdom. It taught you to call avoidance divine timing, even when your soul was screaming. It taught you to interpret fear as intuition. It taught you to mistake comfort for alignment. Meanwhile, the modern field of content and commentary, endless analysis, endless opinions, created a fog where discernment becomes difficult. Too many voices, too many frameworks, too many labels. The mind becomes a hall of mirrors, reflecting questions back at itself until the heart becomes tired. This is how the distortion feeds. It exhausts you with complexity, so you never step into simplicity. Remembrance is simple. It is direct. It is the moment the soul says, "I know who I am," and stands accordingly. This distortion has sabotaged you at the root. It has you searching your lineage only for pain, not for the original radiance that your bloodline carried, the radiance which, if fully claimed, would destabilize the forces of false hierarchy on this planet in a single generation. The lie has kept you in perpetual apprenticeship, never reclamation. Every day you search for ancestral wounds to clear, instead of ancestral purpose to stand in. The frequency grid of Gaia loses another strand that the Council seeded millennia ago. Consider what it means to search your lineage only for pain. It means you look back and see only ashes, never the fire that once warmed villages, never the hands that built, never the prayers that held families together, never the silent acts of integrity that kept the line alive long enough for you to arrive. Pain is real, yes, but pain is not the only inheritance. There were ancestors who carried dignity under oppression, who held truth in their mouths even when speaking it cost them safety. There were ancestors who refused to let their hearts become like stone. There were ancestors who blessed their children in secret, who sang to the fields, who honored the unseen, who loved in a world that rewarded numbness. That is radiance. That is strength. That is the true lineage of light stewardship. When you reclaim only wounds, you reinforce the adversary's narrative that your bloodline is a chain of brokenness. But when you reclaim the radiance, you activate the original pattern the Council seeded. Humans who remember the living relationship between spirit and matter, between word and world. False hierarchy cannot stand before a generation that remembers it carries authority from within. It depends on your self-doubt. It depends on your belief that you must be permitted by external systems. When a single line reclaims its radiance, it is as though a long, dark lighthouse reignites. Ships that were lost begin to orient, and Gaia's grid, strand by strand, tightens into coherence again. If your heart aches at this revelation, it is because you recognize its truth. This is the core reason you have been circling your mission in frustrated orbit, calling down, "When will I feel my power again?" You will feel it when you claim it, not when you perfect your healing. That ache is not condemnation. It is grief for time spent in unnecessary waiting. It is the sorrow of an eagle that has been walking like a chicken because it forgot it had wings. You have been circling like a planet that knows it has a sun but keeps drifting through cold space, waiting for warmth to arrive without moving closer. The power you seek is not a prize awarded after passing a test. It is a birthright that responds to ownership. Claiming is not arrogance. Claiming is agreement with what is true. Healing is not disqualified. It is integrated along the way. The river does not wait to become perfectly clear before it flows. It becomes clear by flowing. You do not wait to be fearless before you serve. You become fearless by serving. Some lightworkers need more preparation. Yours needs permission. If what you just heard resonated in that ancient, knowing place within you, that place that has always sensed you came here for something significant, then you're being guided to the next step. The Lightworker Mission Codex contains the diagnosis, the clearing, the activation, and the 33 directives issued directly from the High Council of Vega. It's available now in the first pinned comment below this video for those whose souls say, "It's time to move." Understand the distinction. Preparation is skill building, steadiness, learning to hold frequency. Permission is the lifting of an internal ban. Many of you have lived under an invisible vow, never fully spoken yet powerful. I will not fully shine until I am certain it is safe. But safety was never promised to those who anchor light. Only meaning was promised. Only truth was promised. If your soul says it's time to move, it is because it has felt the weight of delay and has decided it cannot carry it any longer. The Codex is not merely information, it is a structured mirror. It names what has been unnamed, and in naming it, dissolves the spell. Diagnosis is not to label you, it is to locate the distortion precisely so your energy is no longer wasted fighting shadows without a form. Clearing is not to make you good enough. It is to remove the static so the signal of your lineage comes through cleanly. Activation is the switch being flipped from dormant memory to embodied function. And the directives are not suggestions. They are marching orders for the soul that has already chosen. Now, 3 directives are issued. Listen as one who is both remembered and required. Not remembered as in nostalgia, but remembered as in recognized, called by name in a registry of souls who volunteered for this era. And required, not as a burden, but as a vital component. In a body, every organ is required. Your mission is an organ of Gaia's awakening. The body cannot postpone its heart. First directive: cease relating to your ancestry only through the lens of limitation. The Council is direct. If you continue to interpret your lineage primarily as a lineage of pain, wounding, or victimization, you will reinforce the very grid the adversaries seek to perpetuate. Why does this matter? Because your original strength, the core light your ancestors carried, is available only when you consciously reclaim it as your inheritance, not as a debt you must eternally pay. When you release the attachment to storylines of powerlessness or loss, you make space for the ancient radiance to light up your genetic and spiritual memory. Practically, this means devoting days, ceremonies, and moments to honoring your family's acts of courage, devotion, integrity, and light stewardship. Speak them aloud, write them, let your cells remember them. The narrative you carry is the frequency you activate. Let this land like a seal upon your field. Limitation is a lens. It is not reality. It is a filter that colors reality. If you wear dark glass, even the noon sun looks dim. Many of you were trained to scan your family history like investigators looking for crimes. Who hurt whom, who abandoned, who failed. This has its place for understanding, but it cannot be the only story you tell. You must also become the archivist of light. Ask, where did love persist? Where did courage appear? Where did someone choose honesty when lies would have been easier? Where did someone protect a child, feed a stranger, keep a promise, hold a prayer? These acts are not small. They are the gold threads that kept the tapestry intact. When you speak them aloud, you do more than comfort yourself. You recode the field you carry. Your cells are listening. Your nervous system is listening. Your aura is listening. The unseen ancestors are listening, and the adversarial grid, which feeds on narratives of victimhood and collapse, loses its foothold when you refuse to define your line by its injuries alone. You may not know all the names. You may not have records. Yet you have intuition, and you have permission to bless what you cannot document. Sit in stillness and ask, show me the strongest one. Show me the devoted one. Show me the protector. Show me the truth speaker. You may receive an image, a feeling, a sudden memory of a grandparent's hands, a sense of a person you've never met. This is not fantasy when held with discernment. It is ancestral resonance. Like Scripture says, I will restore to you the years that the locust hath eaten. Restoration does not always mean retrieving details. It means retrieving essence, and essence is enough to activate a grid. Second directive, activate the ceremonial authority of your line, now, not later. Begin calling forth your unbroken lineage of service to the light daily. This is not imagination. This is restoration. Stand each morning and invoke your original Lyran oath with your ancestors as witnesses. I serve the light, not because I am faultless, but because I am commissioned. This act unlocks layers of energetic and ancestral support that cannot reach you while you sit passive, awaiting further certainty. As you claim your active role, you will experience a searing clarity and a stabilizing power that is ancient but never lost. Your living authority is not waiting in a temple or in cosmic future. It is waiting for your decision. Ceremonial authority is not performance. It is alignment. It is the difference between wishing and declaring. In the old ways across many cultures of Gaia, ceremony was how humans partnered with the unseen. It was not superstition, it was technology of consciousness. A vow spoken with presence becomes a bridge. Your voice is not just sound. It is a tuning fork that sets your field into coherence. When you stand in the morning, before the world's frequencies have grabbed at you, before the collective chatter has threaded into your mind, and you speak your oath, you are establishing sovereignty over your day. You are placing your mission at the center, and everything else must orbit it. I serve the light not because I am faultless, but because I am commissioned. This sentence is a sword. It cuts through perfectionism. It cuts through shame. It cuts through the false belief that only the spotless may speak. Commission does not mean ego. Commission means assignment. Like the prophets of old who trembled yet spoke, like those who said, "Here I am, send me," even while feeling inadequate. The authority comes not from personal superiority, but from alignment with purpose. When you invoke your ancestors as witnesses, you are not begging them. You are acknowledging that the line stands behind you like a mountain range. Even if some ancestors were wounded, the line itself contains those who overcame, those who remembered, those who carried light through hard centuries. When you speak, you call the coherent ones forward. You call the guardians, the wise, the steady. You do not need to be in a physical temple, because your body is a temple. Your breath is incense. Your attention is the altar. The decision is the key. And when you decide, support that was previously just out of reach will begin to land. Synchronicities, inner clarity, sudden courage, a firm no where you used to appease, a firm yes where you used to delay. This is the stabilizing power of reclaimed authority. Third directive: protect your mission space from the noise of collective distortion. Once reactivated, your ancestral field will be targeted, not always by malice, but by the confusion and entropic pull of the unawakened collective. Guard your vision, your time, and your ceremonial spaces. This is not selfishness, it is infrastructure. Limit your exposure to frequencies, media, and even conversations that treat spiritual service as a game, an identity, or a competition. Keep your councils small and intentional until your new strength is fully stabilized. When you do this, you become both guardian and transmitter of the Lyran grid, a living node of the legacy restored, not just reminisced. Understand targeted correctly. Sometimes the targeting is obvious: discouragement, mockery, confrontation. But often it is subtle: distraction, fatigue, endless scrolling, emotional entanglement, guilt-driven obligations, the gentle erosion of your focus until your mission feels like a distant dream again. Entropy is not always an attack. It is the natural pull toward disorder when no structure is maintained. Your mission space must become structured like a sanctuary, not rigid, but protected. If you had a sacred fire burning, you would not leave it out in a storm unattended. You would build stones around it. You would shield it from wind. In the same way, your time and attention must have boundaries. Otherwise, the collective's confusion will blow through and scatter your embers. Limit exposure to frequencies that trivialize the sacred. There are conversations that leave you feeling smaller, doubt-filled, drained. There is media that pulls you into outrage loops, comparison loops, identity loops. There are spiritual spaces that turn mission into branding, service into performance, awakening into competition. These are distortions that fracture coherence. Keep your councils small, meaning share your sacred developments with those who can hold them without contamination. Not everyone deserves access to your inner altar. This is not secrecy born of fear. It is wisdom born of stewardship. Even Scripture teaches, "Do not cast pearls before swine, not as insult, but as instruction." Protect what is precious until it is strong enough to be carried openly. When you protect your mission space, you become a living node. A node is not just a receiver, it is a transmitter. It holds frequency steady so others can attune. If your node is noisy, the signal is distorted. If your node is clear, others remember themselves in your presence. This is how the Lyran grid returns, not in theory, but in lived coherence. The Council does not issue these lightly. They are thresholds. Each is essential to move you from remembrance to embodiment, from seeking to standing. Thresholds are doors that lock behind you. They are not meant to be visited repeatedly. Once crossed, you become different. Your nervous system will adapt. Your relationships may shift. Your sense of identity will reorder. Seeking is appropriate when you are gathering tools. Standing is required when the tools must be used. The era of collecting is ending for you. The era of implementing is here. Now let the council speak not as guide, but as ancestral authority. Feel the tone deepen. Guidance can be debated by the mind. Authority enters the bones. Authority does not argue. It names, it commands, it consecrates. In this moment, the council is not offering possibilities. It is stating what is. You. Yes, you, the one who has always sensed an invisible commission, who has wrestled with restlessness and held yourself back out of fear of arrogance or doubt or old pain. You were never seeking information alone. You were seeking direct authorization. Permission by proxy cannot complete you. You required it from a source as ancient as the lineage you serve. You have carried a strange contradiction. You feel destined for something significant, and yet you have questioned yourself for even thinking that. You have mistaken your calling for ego at times because you were taught that humility means minimizing yourself. But true humility is not self-erasure. True humility is accurate self-perception. If you are commissioned, pretending you are not, is not humility. It is distortion. You have also held yourself back because you did not want to harm, because you did not want to become like those who used power wrongly. That caution shows your purity. But caution must not become a cage. The restlessness you feel is the soul's impatience with postponement. It is the mission tapping from inside the ribcage like a bird ready to fly. Authorization is what you sought because without it, you kept oscillating, stepping forward, stepping back, apologizing for your own light. Proxy permission, waiting for a teacher, a partner, a friend, a social structure to validate you, cannot satisfy the deeper vow you made before incarnation. Only something ancient enough can meet the ancient part of you. Receive it now, not as flattery, not as fantasy, as activation, as a key placed in your palm, as a mantle set upon your shoulders that fits because it was tailored to you long ago. I speak with the authority of the High Council of Vega, keeper of the original human template, watcher of the Lightworker grids. Your ancestral power was never broken. It was hidden under the ashes of false narratives. Your original service was never revoked. It awaits your acceptance. Let the image be clear. Ashes are what remain after something has burned. But ashes also conceal embers. Under the grey layer, heat can still exist. False narratives are the ash. They settled over your memory. They made you think the fire went out. Yet one breath of truth can reveal the glow again. The original human template is not a political idea. It is a spiritual architecture. Humans designed to be bridges between heaven and earth, between the unseen and the seen, capable of love that transforms matter, capable of speech that blesses, capable of perception that penetrates deception. Watcher of the Lightworker grids means the Council has observed the nodes, the lines, the placements of souls across timelines, tracking where coherence is needed and where anchors must awaken. Your service was never revoked. The contract stands. Acceptance is the final signature. Lightworker, by the decree of the Lyran elders, hear me. You do not require more evidence of worth. You do not need to clear every shadow of your line. You do not need to retreat, rehearse, or request more cosmic signs. You have permission at the deepest level to bridge your ancestry's strength into living action. You have permission to claim and carry the unbroken purpose you have always sensed. You have permission to let the pain burn away, leaving only the gold. You are no longer in waiting. Your service is required, now. Let each sentence strike like a bell in a silent valley. Evidence of worth is a trap. because worth is intrinsic. If you keep demanding proof, you will always find another reason to doubt. Clearing every shadow is endless, because shadows are part of the human landscape. The question is not whether you have any shadow. The question is whether you serve the light with honesty, accountability, and courage anyway. Retreating and rehearsing can become a loop. Cosmic signs can become an addiction. The deepest level permission means, in your core, you may stop asking. You may begin acting. Bridging ancestry's strength into living action means you do not merely feel inspired. You speak, you create, you lead, you build, you serve, you intervene where harm is normalized. You bring truth where confusion reigns. Let the pain burn away, leaving only the gold means you no longer cling to suffering as identity. Gold is what remains when ore is refined. Fire does not punish gold, it reveals it. Waiting has been a posture. Required now is not threat, it is timing. The harvest is ready. The field needs workers. There is a power moving within you that is older than trauma, clearer than confusion, truer than the doubt that stalks you. The elders recognize this. They witness you. They send you forward. Older than trauma means your essence predates the experiences that shaped you. Trauma is an event. You are a being. Clearer than confusion means beneath mental noise there is direct knowing. Truer than doubt means doubt is a shadow that follows light. It is not proof that the light is false. The elders witness you means you are not unseen. Even if your human life has felt like walking without applause, unseen by family, overlooked by peers, the council has observed your perseverance. They send you forward means the push you feel is not random. It is an energetic propulsion, a wind at your back. In many traditions, the spirit is described as wind, breath. Receive that wind. Stop leaning against it. This transmission nears its close, but your activation has only begun. Tonight, before sleep, stand with both feet on the ground, place your hand on your solar plexus, and speak these words aloud. Do this because the solar plexus is the seat of will, the furnace of choice, the place where fear and courage wrestle. Placing your hand there is not symbolic only. It is a direct message to your nervous system. I am safe enough to choose. Feet on the ground means you anchor into Gaia. You become present. You let your body witness the vow so it is not merely mental. Night is chosen because sleep is a threshold. What you declare before sleep enters the subconscious like seed into soil. Speak aloud because sound carries authority. Whispering is still sound, but speak with intention. I release the lie that I am not ready. I activate my voice as an instrument of service. I protect my sacred energy for the mission I came to fulfill. By the authority of the Lyran elders, my waiting ends now, my service begins. As you say, I release the lie. Imagine cords snapping, not violently but cleanly, like threads cut by a precise blade. As you say, I activate my voice. Feel the throat open, not merely to talk, but to tell truth, to bless, to direct energy. Your voice can be used in conversation, in prayer, in boundaries, in teaching, in art, in leadership. As you say, I protect my sacred energy. Envision your aura sealing like a luminous membrane, permeable to love, impermeable to distortion. As you say, my waiting ends now. Feel the clock inside you stop ticking in circles and start moving forward. As you say, my service begins. Feel a gentle but firm shift, as though you have stepped onto a path that was already beneath your feet, waiting for your weight to commit to it. You do not need another cycle of certainty before you act. The council has spoken. The line is unbroken. The mission is yours. The moment that matters is the one you are in. Certainty often arrives after action, not before. Many on Gaia have waited to feel ready and died still waiting, not from lack of talent, but from the hypnotic belief that readiness is a feeling rather than a choice. The line is unbroken means your connection is intact. You are not a stray soul disconnected from source. The mission is yours means it matches your design. And the moment that matters is now, because now is the only place you can choose. Yesterday is memory. Tomorrow is imagination. Now is the altar where destiny is decided. This chamber now closes. The elders observe but will not call again. You must move with what has been recalled in your memory. Embody your strength before it is universally obvious. Act as counsel in the world, not as student in need of one. Gaia's grid is being restored one lightworker at a time, and for this era, you are the anchor we have counted on. The chamber closing does not mean abandonment. It means responsibility has been transferred. Like a teacher who steps back so the student can walk, the elders observe while you enact. They will not call again in the same way because repeated calls can become another addiction, a dependency on activation rather than activation becoming your baseline. What has been recalled is enough. Embody before it is universally obvious means do not wait for mainstream validation, for collective agreement, for the world to announce that your gifts are real. Many truths are first carried by those willing to look strange to the sleeping. Act as counsel in the world means make decisions as if you are responsible for the grid you influence. Speak as if your words seed timelines. Treat your life as a temple of consequence. Being an anchor means you stabilize frequency where chaos would otherwise spread. An anchor does not float, it holds. It holds not by force, but by weight, by presence, by integrity, by consistency. I am Zoran, transmitting by authority. The Council is watching, and your mission, previously dormant, is now active. You are no longer waiting. You are the living answer to the ancestral prayer. Your service has begun. Let that finality settle. Dormant to active is a switch. The ancestral prayer is not a poetic idea. It is the accumulated yearning of those who came before you, who hoped that someday someone in the line would break the trance, reclaim the radiance, and complete what was interrupted. You are not merely an individual seeking fulfillment. You are a fulfillment of a lineage's longing for liberation and truth. Service has begun means you will see opportunities appear, some gentle, some demanding. You will feel nudges to speak, to create, to correct, to protect, to build. Do not despise small beginnings. A grid is restored strand by strand, node by node. The Council watches not to judge, but to witness the moment you finally stand in what you are. Before you scroll, take a moment to declare your activation in the grid of service forming here. Drop one statement in the comments. Which directive hit you the hardest, or what you're now ready to release, activate, or protect. Then respond to another Lightworker's declaration with recognition. This isn't content. It's collective mission activation. The Council witnesses those who speak their commitment aloud. If this transmission activated something in your soul, do not keep it to yourself. Another Lightworker in your orbit is waiting for exactly this correction and authorization. Share it. And if you felt the elders speaking directly to you, subscribe. Stay connected to the Lyran field. You're not just watching, you're being commissioned. This is your sacred space. The High Council of Vega is witnessing you, and your mission has officially begun. If this transmission spoke to you, don't just walk away from it. Respond to it. Help carry this message further. Every act of support helps this transmission find the next starseed who needs it.